We're tackling menopause moodiness with a low-impact power walk. No equipment needed, so let's go! All right, killer bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving, and that means that we're getting started with some arm circles and some high knees. You guys, welcome to the workout. I'm always excited about the workout. I always am. I'm Pahla B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend, and today I am moody, which is why I'm really excited about this workout. I need to do a little bit of exercise. I need to shake off some of my mood today. I have spent today running the gamut, frankly. I've been sad, I've been angry, I've been agitated, I've been restless, I've been anxious. I've had it all going on, and I know that one of the best things that we can do for ourselves around here, you know, we're making peace with our menopausal bodies and our menopausal moods. The best things that we can do is give ourselves a little bit of distraction, and B, a little bit of gentle, tender, loving care. Today's workout is meant to be very moderate. It's not going to be super long. It's not going to be super sweaty. It is going to be fun. It's going to be sweaty, of course, but it's not going to be too much. It's going to be just right. And that is exactly, oh my gosh, we're also going to be working on balance today. That is exactly the kind of thing that can really help alleviate whatever kind of a mood or moods, plural, you might be in. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. I know for myself that the right amount of exercise is probably the most helpful thing I can do. I also know that sometimes you need not just to distract yourself, because frankly, distracting yourself from whatever has gotten you in the mood doesn't actually dispel the mood. It just kind of puts it off till later. So working through your mood, meaning identifying what you're thinking and what's going on with you and doing your best to work all the way through it, is absolutely the first line of business. But also giving yourself something else to think about can be very beneficial. And that is exactly what we're doing today. I purposely gave myself a very simple and yet kind of complicated workout to do today. We have nice, gentle, very doable intervals of 20 seconds on the handy dandy gym boss here. But we're doing today as a power walk in an inchworm style, which means that I really have to be on my game and actually thinking about where we are with this workout. Let's do some welcome to my home, because welcome to my home. This is where we are. And this is what we're doing. Here's what it looks like. We're going to start off with a nice walking interval. And it's very simple. When in doubt, come back to that. If you or I or both of us get lost in this workout, just come back to walking and do what you can. We're not trying to do too much today. We're doing just enough. But then, okay, so after the walk, we're going to do 2 intervals in a row of 2 different exercises. But then the 2 exercises are going to inchworm through my list of exercises, meaning that the first 2 will be the first interval, and then the second one and the third one will be the next interval, and then the third one and the fourth one will be the next interval. And I know that that makes almost no sense to you right now, but it needs to make sense to me while we're doing the workout. So follow along to your best ability, and let's both get in a much better mood. Let's go ahead and get started with a walking interval. Now you can help yourself to any kind of a pace that feels good. You may have noticed that there's absolutely no rest. So when it beeps, we're going to do big arm side shuffles paired with toy soldiers, meaning that we're going to do big arm side shuffles for 1 interval, and then we're going to do toy soldiers. Big arm side shuffles is just what it sounds like. We're literally shuffling to the side. In fact, I'm going to scoot over here because 20 seconds isn't very long. We're going to shuffle to the side while we're having big arms in front of us. This is honestly kind of an extended warm-up. We're not really trying to go too fast. We're not really trying to get too much done. I know I've already said that a few times, but that's really our buzzword here. When it beeps, we're doing toy soldiers, which means that we're going to have our hands up overhead and we're reaching our opposite hand towards our opposite foot. This was our first pair of exercises, and when it beeps again, we're coming back to that walking motion. Now here's the thing about a workout like today with absolutely no rest. We really want to be thinking about our pace. I know if you are moody Judy like I am, here we go back to walking, if you are feeling very moody, then it might be very tempting to go right out of the gate, just super hard, just get this feeling out of you. When it beeps again, we're doing toy soldiers, and this time we're pairing them with goofy jacks. So this is a repeating, no repeat twice through the circuit kind of a day. So here we go with toy soldiers. Hands up, opposite hand reaching towards your opposite foot. When it beeps, we're going to be doing goofy jacks, which is not a full squat. It's just like a little squat. It's a half of a squat. And then our hands are going to be doing jumping jacks while one leg comes out at a time. Absolutely no jumping today. We are not trying to do, here we go with the goofy jacks. We're not trying to do anything too crazy, which I know can be very tempting. Sometimes when we get in a rough mood or have lots of moods, we think we can just sweat it out. But I will tell you, that's not always our best option. It might, here we go back to walking. It might feel kind of good in the moment, but it doesn't ultimately address everything that's going on with us. So when it beeps again, we're doing those goofy jacks, and we're pairing that with low swinging tappers, which is literally what it sounds like. I mean, our hands are swinging low and our feet are tapping from side to side. So here we go with the goofy jacks. The thing about feeling moody is that it's part of where we are right now. And learning to accept and simply be where we are is so much nicer than beating ourselves up with a tough workout. So here we go. Oh my gosh, if I can. Low swinging tappers. Here we go. This was the part of the workout that I was not concerned about, but the part that I knew that I was going to have to focus on. Moving from one exercise to another requires a little bit of brain power, and that's exactly the little bit of distraction that I was talking about. And here we go back to walking. Awesome job. Okay, so the next time it beeps, we're doing those low swinging tappers again, and we're pairing them with walking stars, which you might know as a box step or a V-step. We're picking an apple, we're putting it in our pocket. But the thing about pushing ourselves to sweat super hard, so here we go with those low swinging tappers, is that ultimately that doesn't always do what we want it to do. Sometimes it feels good in the moment. I mean, we're definitely going to get some endorphins going today, but when we are taking our mood out on ourselves, that is not the loving care that we need. So here we go with walking stars. Step it forward, step it back, step it forward with the other foot, step it on back. Reaching that hand up and then putting it back down. Changing leader feet each and every time. And when it beeps again, we're going to go back to that walking motion. What a great job we are all doing figuring this out. And here we are back at walking. So when it beeps again, we're doing those walking stars again, paired with Drinky bird jacks. Drinky bird is just, it's another name for a single leg deadlift, and your hands are going to be doing jumping jacks. When we can just take a moment and assess and do what we need to do. So here we go, those walking stars. We can alleviate a bad mood, a crabby mood, an anxious mood, a crazy mood, all of the moods, by actually being really kind to ourselves rather than pushing too hard. And then here we go with Drinky bird jacks. Hands are doing jumping jacks, lower body is doing Drinky birds. This is a little bit of balance work, a little bit at a time. Do not worry if you are not coming all the way over. Do not worry. Honestly, don't worry about anything right now. This is what I'm talking about giving yourself some loving grace during your workout. And here we go back to walking. When you can simply be kind to yourself, no matter what is on your mind, no matter what is on your plate, no matter what is going on in your world, no matter what's going on with your workout right now. When it beeps again, of course, we're doing those Drinky bird jacks, and we're pairing those with windmill tappers. Our hands and feet will be nice and wide. Here we go with those Drinky bird jacks. When you can simply love yourself through your moods, you'll find that there's actually an extra layer going on sometimes. This is what I found today, and this is why I'm going to share it with you. When it beeps, by the way, we're doing windmill tap backs. Hands are going to be nice and wide, feet are nice and wide. Reaching your opposite hand down towards your opposite foot. It doesn't need to go all the way down. We're tapping back with that same foot. It's simply going side to side. Keeping those hands up is keeping your heart rate up. I noticed this morning when I was crying, I noticed that I was judging myself for crying, and here we go back to walking. When it beeps again, we're going to do those windmill tap backs again, and we're going to pair them with skiers. Hands are going up and down in front of us. Feet are shuffling back and forth underneath us. And then later, when I was feeling very anxious and frustrated that I wasn't getting much work done because I had been crying, I found myself judging myself for that. And then later, and here we go with those windmill tap backs, nice and wide, hands and feet, reaching our opposite hand towards our opposite foot. When it beeps again, we're doing skiers, hands going up and down in front of us, feet shuffling back and forth. And then after I'd been sitting at my desk trying to get some things done, and then I was feeling very unproductive and frustrated about that, here we go with skiers. I found myself yet again judging myself. You're not getting anything done. And now you're sitting here being angry at yourself. There was like a third layer. I was judging myself for judging myself. My friends, I realized that I needed to take that whole other layer off of the moodiness. Being upset, here we go, back to walking. Being upset with myself for being moody was absolutely not helping my mood at all. Giving myself some loving grace, some kindness, a slightly challenging but not over the top workout. We're going to be doing skiers here again in just a second when it beeps. And then here we go with skiers, hands going up and down in front of you, opposite hand, opposite foot, shuffling back and forth. When it beeps, we're going into curtsy jacks. If you don't want to do a curtsy lunge, don't do it. Just do a side kick. No worries at all. Your hands are doing jumping jacks. Your feet, I am going to be doing curtsy lunges. You can do whatever kind of a kick feels best to you. So curtsy lunge and back up, curtsy lunge and back up. Don't feel like you need to go low. If your knees don't like this, simply take a big step out to the side. You don't have to come into a full lunge. This, my friends, is part of what I'm talking about with the judgment layer. And then right back to walking. I find, because I read your comments, that a lot of us are judging ourselves in the middle of our workouts. Even a workout that's going reasonably well. When it beeps again, we're going to be doing those curtsy jacks again, and we're pairing them with butter churners. And I did that to myself on purpose because both of those are tough for me to figure out in my mind. So I'm thinking about doing curtsy jacks. Hands are up, hands are down when you're down in the curtsy lunge. When it beeps again, we're doing butter churns. And this one I have to think about. When my hands are up, my feet are down. When my hands are down, one foot is up out to the side. So hands up. When they come down, we're churning butter and kicking out to the side. When we can simply give ourselves the grace of saying this is the way the workout is going. I am having to remind myself of exactly how to do these exercises. And they may or may not be going perfectly well. Here we go back to our walking. My balance may or may not be going all over the map today. My moods may or may not be all over the world today. I can still love myself. I can still be totally okay with myself. When it beeps again, of course, we're doing butter churns again, and we're pairing that. Here we go. Hands up, hands down, and one foot comes out. Hands are up and down directly underneath your chin. Palms are facing your body, just like we're churning butter, as though I know what that is. When it beeps again, we're doing double knees. Hands up overhead. We're bringing our hands down to one knee at a time, but 2 times in a row on that one side. So hands up, 2 knees on one side, 2 knees on the other. That little bit of a pivot in the middle really makes you pull in your core. Think about where your body is in space and time. We're always thinking about excellent form when we're moving fast, moving slow, doing anything in between. Having your core pulled in. Here we go back to walking. Having your core pulled in helps everything else get more power out of it. And you know, that's kind of, in a weird way, I just thought about this, kind of a metaphor for what we're talking about with our moods. When it beeps again, we're doing those double knees paired with cans, which is a knee and a kick. So we've got lots of knees going on right now. So double knees, 2 knees on one side, 2 knees on the other. Excuse me. My throat's a little bit dry. When it beeps, we're doing cans. It's a knee and a kick, and then a knee and a kick. But the thing about pulling in your core is kind of what I was saying about offering yourself the self-love. So here we go, knee and kick. I get a little bit of an elbow into it as well, reaching my hand towards that opposite foot. Having your hands into it a little bit keeps your heart rate up. Also kind of gets your abs and obliques a little bit of a twist in there too. You are always welcome to take this at whatever pace feels best. Here we are, back to walking. Okay. Now that was the end of the circuit, and this is where I have to think again. So when it beeps again, we're going to do those can-cans paired with our first exercise, that big arm side shuffles. Okay, that's going to be a fun transition. I have to think about this. When it beeps, we're doing the knee and the kick. So knee and kick, knee and kick. Having your core pulled in is like having your own heart pulled in, giving yourself your own self-love first. When we're thinking about good form, when we're thinking about self-love, when it beeps again, we're doing those big arm side shuffles, and here we go, off to the side, and there it is. Shuffling to the side, nice big arms in front of you. When we're giving ourselves grace and self-love, even on a day where things don't seem like they're going well, even when my technology has been bizarre, when I've had sad thoughts, and here we are back to walking, when I've had frustrating thoughts, when I've had maddening thoughts, when I have felt emotional, I can pull in my core and I can stand up nice and straight, and I can remember that everything's going to be okay, especially when I've got a good workout on me. It beeps again. Here we are with those big arm side shuffles. And here's where we started, my friends. Big arm side shuffles paired with toy soldiers. This is the beginning of our second and final circuit. My friends, self-love really is the core to everything. And right now, when we're feeling, here we go with toy soldiers, hands up, opposite hand towards your opposite foot. During a time when we're feeling moody and a little bit out of control, the thing that you can always control is how you talk to yourself, how much you love yourself. And I want you to know unequivocally, and here we go back to walking, you can love yourself wherever you are on your journey. You can love yourself if you're having a lousy day. You can love yourself if you're not very good at balance. You can love yourself at any weight. You can love yourself at any size. You can love yourself at any part of your life. When it beeps again, we're doing those toy soldiers. Here we are, paired with goofy jacks. So that little bit of a squat to squatito, as my friend Jennifer calls them, which makes me laugh every time. Paired with your hands doing jumping jacks, but your lower body not doing any kind of jumping at all, unless you feel like it. My friend, maybe you do feel like it. Here we go with a little squat, hands up, and one foot out at a time. When it beeps again, we're coming back to walking. I've noticed, even though I I was focusing very hard on starting the workout at almost a slow pace because I didn't want to go out of the gate super crazy. But now that my mood is already starting to lift, here we go back to walking, I do actually have a little bit of energy today. On a moderate day, like I am doing, you might have more energy than another moderate day. You should always bring the energy that you have to your workout. When it beeps again, we're doing those goofy jacks paired with the low swinging tapper. So here we go with the little squatito and then nice big hands with one foot out at a time. This was the transition that definitely flummoxed me the first time through, so I'm already kind of thinking low swinging tappers, feet are going to be together until we tap one out to the side and then meet the other foot to greet it. So tap to the side, tap to the other side. You're stepping and bringing feet together. Hands are swinging low, which just means they're not going up over your head. They're actually swinging up pretty high, but they're not swinging overhead. This has definitely been the right amount of heart rate challenge for me today. Here we go back to walking. When we do these kind of endurance workouts where there's no rest, it's really important to assess where you are. Not simply let your mood take you away. When it beeps again, we're doing those low swinging tappers paired with walking stars. Sometimes, especially if you are in, let's call it an unpleasant mood, it's very easy to just try and get that aggression out in your workout. Unfortunately, sometimes I behave for that a little bit later. When it beeps again, we're doing walking stars, stepping forward with both feet, then stepping backwards with both feet, changing leader feet each time, bringing your hands up. We're picking an apple and putting it in our pocket. So forward, forward, back, back, forward, forward, back, and back. There was a time, my friends, when I had to say that for every single step, when I could not talk through this exercise because I had to think about it so hard. That time has mostly passed. I still have to kind of think about it. Here we go back to walking, but it's not nearly as much focus and concentration. That is what I try to remind myself when I'm feeling moody also. I reminded myself of it a couple of times today, that the mood I was in right this minute, it's going to pass. It's going to improve the way that we all do. Walking stars again, we get better at things that we do all the time. Let yourself feel your feelings, my friend. Let them pass and feel good again. When it beeps again, we're doing Drinky bird jacks. I forgot to mention that. So we're doing Drinky bird jacks, which is a single leg deadlift paired with our hands doing jumping jacks. You can have a chair nearby. You don't have to go over very far. Give yourself a loving graceness. I'm not really sure what that word would be. A loving grace for however this exercise gets done, however the words come out of my mouth. And right back to walking. This is the magic of a good workout. I'm starting to sweat. I'm starting to feel a little bit looser. I'm starting to let some of that stuff go. I'm starting to think about how my day has gone. When it beeps again, we're doing those Drinky bird jacks paired with windmill tap backs. Here we go. And I'm reminding myself that even though I had a rough day with my moods, that this workout feels just right. That this workout is something that I do because I love myself. Not just to distract myself, not just to work out some aggression. Here we go with windmill tap backs, feet nice and wide, hands nice and wide, reaching your opposite hand down towards your opposite foot. But doing an exercise, doing a workout, because I love myself, because this is how I give myself grace. This is how I give myself the gift of at least a slightly better mood, and right back to walking for however long that mood lasts. You guys, I will throw a little bit of science at you here. Coming up next, of course, we're going to do those windmill tap backs again, and we're pairing them with skiers. I will tell you, scientifically speaking, one of the ways that we can get through menopause. So here we go with windmill tap backs. Feet nice and wide, hands nice and wide. One hand stays up while the other one is reaching down. Is by exercising regularly. Exercising regularly, drinking our water, eating regularly and the right amount, getting to or maintaining a healthy weight. When it beeps again, we're doing skiers, hands going up and down in front of us, feet shuffling back and forth underneath us. Doing the things that we do to live a healthy life regularly, consistently, lovingly, not too much, not too little. Those are the kinds of things that can actually help us get through this moody time. Now, here we go back to walking. Is that a cure-all? No. We might still have moods. We might still have night sweats. We might still have anxiety. We might still have all kinds of menopause symptoms. Don't let that throw you off of your self-love game. Don't let a bad mood throw you off of your consistency. Here we go with skiers again. When it beeps again, we're going to do curtsy jacks or kicking jacks, whatever you want to call them. Help yourself to a nice big side kick instead of a curtsy lunge. Help yourself to a nice big side step instead of a curtsy lunge. There's really, honestly, no wrong way to do this. The only thing that might be wrong with it is if you injure yourself. So do a workout that feels good. Do exercises that feel just right. The right amount of push, the right amount of work, the right amount of movement that works for your joints, that works for where you are with your body right now. When it beeps again, of course, we're coming back to walking because this is a power walk today. Are you starting to feel the power? The mood-lifting power of self-love and a good workout? When it beeps again, we're doing those curtsy jacks or whatever it is that you are doing in place of curtsy jacks, paired with butter churns. Here we go. Concentration, focus, power. Oh my gosh, curtsy jacks. I I had literally no idea what my body was doing just there. I was already going into butter churns and I was already thinking about where my hands should be. When my hands are up underneath my chin, my feet are together. When my hands are down, my foot is out. I'm already ready for it. Here we go. Hands up and down. Churning some butter, as though I know what that's like. Or we're doing like a little bit of a hoe down. Did you ever do any kind of, I know some of you do and still do square dancing. I did a very brief stint of square dancing when I was in 6th grade. My neighbors actually go square dancing all the time. Here we go back to walking. Not right now because of social distancing, but they are very avid square dancers. And I love that. That's not something that I see all the time anymore. When it beeps again, we're doing butter churns for the final time, paired with double knees. We're coming up near the end of my list, you guys. Hands up, and then when hands are down, one foot is out. Don't worry about how long it takes you to transition between the exercises. You see, it's taking me a second or two. That doesn't take away from how awesome your workout is. When it beeps again, we're doing those double knees. Hands are going to go up overhead, reaching them down towards your middle to the same knee 2 times in a row. 2 times on one side, 2 times on the other side. No matter how this workout is going for you, no matter how objective you think you're being about, oh, that wasn't very good, I promise you, it is 100% better, unless you are injured. Here we go, back to walking, excuse me. Unless you are injured, this is 100% better than doing nothing. This can help lighten your load, lighten your mood, and help you feel better for the days to come, too. When it beeps again, doing the double knees, paired with can-cans for the final time. Here we go, with double knees and double knees on the other side. Now I know, sometimes, in fact every time, we do an inchworm. I usually start with one exercise rather than a pair. I did things differently today, so when we're done with the can-cans, we are actually going to be done. We're not going to be finished, of course. Here we go with can-cans. Knee and kick and knee and kick. When it beeps again, we're going to go back into walking because we're going to kind of bring our heart rate down a tiny bit before I have one final thing for us. I've got a little bit of a finisher that's going to be, again, the right amount of challenge, the right amount of balance, the right amount of self-love, the right amount, here we go back to walking, the right amount of finishing off your awesome workout. We're going to be balancing. Already mentioned that to you. We're going to be doing cross body, knees to elbows, and we're going to do 2 intervals. It's single-sided at a time, but we are going back and forth. So you're going to have your hands on your shoulders with your elbows facing forward. You're going to bring up one knee at a time, and you're going to go across your body, and then the same side of your body, and then put that foot down. This is a huge change of pace. All of a sudden, we're not doing cardio at all anymore. That's why we're doing 2 intervals of this, because this first interval is just me kind of figuring out where my body is. Pull in your core. Think about touching your knee to your elbow without curling forward into it. I understand that that's not always going to be possible. Do your best. Give yourself the gift of grace and a good mood by telling yourself that this is where you are now, this is what you can do now, and this is amazing right now. The next time it beeps, that was it, my friends. Let's cool it down. Let's do some arm circles with some side tappers here. Didn't that feel wonderful? I love, love, love when I can turn my day around. And for me, that pretty much always means exercise. That always means getting a little bit of a sweat, doing a little bit of movement, and really kind of working through in my mind. I mean, I know I was chattering about lots of things, but in my mind, I was also I was reassessing my day. It wasn't that bad. I had some moods, but that doesn't mean that I am moody. It doesn't mean that my day is ruined. It doesn't mean I got nothing done. It means that today I was feeling things the way a human being feels things. And tomorrow I'm probably going to feel different. Not probably. I'm definitely going to feel lots of different things. That's what happens. That's where we are. Let's go ahead and open it up. and then close it up, and my friend, give yourself a great big hug and a pat on your sweaty back. What a good job you did today. No matter what kind of a job you felt like it was amazing, it was fantastic, and I'm super, super proud of you. Open it up and close it up. I do have a longer cool down here for you if you'd like a little bit more to bring down your sweat and stretch out your beautiful body. Thank you so, so much for working out with me today. Make sure you click the subscribe button before you go, and I'll see you in the next video.